But it's important for people to know that you have to go through this kind of nonsense.
Well, I don't
Especially when you think this object, 3I Atlas, is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You know, I served in the Israeli military, and we parachuted, we drove tanks. I was in a special unit that allowed me to finish my PhD at age 24, and then the SDI, the Star Wars initiative of President Reagan, brought me to the U.S. And I remember while serving in the paratroopers that there was a saying that sometimes you have to put your body on the barbed wire so that your friends, colleagues, soldiers can
climb over your back.
Yes.
Oy.
And as long as I allow young people to innovate, as long as I attract kids to science, I did my job. It's not about me, you see. It's about humanity getting better. And it will not get better with AI, as we discussed. It could get better with alien intelligence because we will realize that there is something else out there that is more accomplished than we are.
Right.
So it will serve as a role model. You know, in 1882, Friedrich Nietzsche said, God is dead. And since then, we had a century of modern science and technology where we feel hubris. You know, we are arrogant. We're at the top of the food chain. You know, we go to restaurants, we eat other animals that are less intelligent than we are. But just think about it. If it turns out that we are not at the top of the food chain in the Milky Way galaxy, there is someone more intelligent than us. If that someone comes to visit Earth, will we be served in their soup?
I wouldn't think so. I would think there's plenty of other things to eat that aren't intelligent. I mean, that's sort of the deal that we make here. We eat things, but we try not to eat intelligent things, which is not entirely true because we eat a lot of octopus.
Yeah, I had this dilemma in
octopus
Boston.
Is quite intelligent.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people in indigenous tribes that really prefer monkey meat. You know, those are human beings that love to eat monkeys. That gets a little weird too. But I don't think they're going to travel all the way over here to eat people. I think if we were that delicious, we would be eating each other a lot more often. No,
it's probably a situation where we are just like ants in the cracks of a pavement, and there is a biker passing by. And we are trying to make sounds and, get attention. We think it's about us. It's always about us, according to us.
Uh-huh.
But it's not about us.
Well, it's not about us cosmically. When you take into consideration the vast spans of the universe. But if I was an intelligent species and my curiosity led me to explore other intelligent species, and they were far more advanced than us, I think they would find us quite fascinating. That was the argument that I got into with Neil deGrasse Tyson, where he was like, I don't think we're that interesting. Well,
right.
They would visit us.
You have to keep in mind, he's not a practicing astrophysicist. He's not writing scientific papers. I write a paper almost every week.
Right.
I'm in the trenches doing science. It's very different. It's just like, you have soccer players and you have commentators on the bench, and you can be a commentator, popularize science, but the difference is that as a commentator, you will never score a goal.
Well, that's my position as a UFC commentator. I don't get in there and fight people. I understand the fighting. I can do my best to help explain it to people, but
right.
I don't do it. So,
a few months ago,
defer to experts.
A few months ago, I was at a gathering, and there was a cocktail hour, and it was with celebrities, and I saw Margot Robbie standing, and of course, I have nothing to offer. What kind of opening line would I start a conversation with? I didn't know how to start a conversation. So
right.
I was just standing on the side, and then someone came with my book, Interstellar, and said, would you mind signing it for me? And so I signed the book, and she noticed it, and she came over and said, are you Avi Loeb? I really wanted to hear more about what you're doing. And we started the conversation for 20 minutes. Then I gave my talk, and Jerry Bruckheimer was in the audience. He is one of the most accomplished, you know him. He came afterwards and said, I just finished F1, the movie, and my next one is about a scientist like you searching for UAPs and trying to figure them out.
Oh.
And then I saw Adrian Brody was standing there, and he told me, I really want to become a scientist. I always wanted to become a scientist. I said, it's not too late. And then I went to Jerry and said, look, he should be your leading actor, because Adrian
Look at
really
you,
wanted to
making
become
casting calls. Look at that, figuring it out for them. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, science fiction is one of the most popular genres of films ever because everybody has curiosity about it.
But nature might be much more imaginative than the best script writers in Hollywood.
Very likely.
And so if we look up, we might get a much better movie. And there is actually the Rubin Observatory funded by the National Science Foundation, Department of Energy in Chile. It was inaugurated in June this year.
Is that the VLT array?
No. The VLT is a very large telescope by the European Southern Observatory. But this one was funded by the US, and it has a 3.2 gigapixel camera monitoring the southern sky every 4 nights. And it's an amazing survey telescope. And by the way, Sphere has a display that is the biggest in the world of 14,000 by 14,000 pixels. Okay, that's a factor of 13 less pixels than the Rubin camera has.
That's
observing
amazing.
the real sky. Now, Rubin will potentially, based on estimates, discover an interstellar object like 3I Atlas or even smaller every few months. So we are entering a new era where we will have a lot of visitors that we recognize. There might have been traffic all the time that we're not aware of.
Probably, right?
And my recommendation is to establish an organization. I wrote to the United Nations about it. I wrote also to the International Astronomical Union to establish an organization or committee that would coordinate observations of these objects so we can figure out their nature and make sure, and then of course inform policymakers, politicians, how to respond. Because when you have a visitor to your backyard, you need to respond immediately. It's not like getting a radio signal from tens of thousands of light years away where you have plenty of time to wait. Here you have to do something. And so I hope that they will do that. And actually the International Asteroid Warning Network just 2 days ago announced they will have a campaign looking at 3I Atlas with a lot of observatories on Earth between November 27th and January 27th. So I'm very glad that they decided to do that. They are related to the United Nations.
Now, what is it about Chile? Is it the atmosphere? Is it the altitude?
As a result of geology, there is this stretch of mountains that was erected. And if you look at the map of Chile, it's sort of lying on a strip. And not only that the peaks reach a very high level so that you have less atmosphere between you and the stars. I mean, the real problem right now is actually Starlink satellites that are artificial lights in the sky. And we have to subtract them off because there are, there will be tens of thousands of those.
Right.
We're trying to avoid city lights by going to these mountains, and then we have city lights in the sky. But other than that, it's less atmosphere, so it's good to be high up. And in addition, it's not very turbulent. The weather is very good there. So there is the Atacama Desert, and there are many astronomical observatories there. And the other place where you have a lot of state-of-the-art facilities is Hawaii.
Mm-hmm, the Keck.
The issue there is that there are severe political limitations because of the indigenous people there that are assigning religious sentiment to the mountains. So they cannot build more telescopes there. So Chile, the government in Chile is encouraging science, and we are getting a lot of useful data from Chile.
Yeah, we need more of it, right?